All right, so welcome to today's market review session with us at EasyFX Academy. I don't want to take too much of our time today. All right, by all means, I want us to have this in the next 30 minutes or 1 hour so that you can get back to your charts and possibly place your own pending orders and prepare to knock that commodity 200 lot size and make your money for the week. All right, so let's just quickly look at the indices together. Let's just quickly look at the indices together, and then we'll take up some time to look at some commodities also together. All right, sorry about that. So let's start. Let's go straight in. All right, so we'll look at DXY first. And I think for me, for this coming week, I'm going to be a bit bullish on DXY. All right, I'm watching out for DXY to actually gain strength, for the US dollar, all right, to gain strength. All right, and reason being, we got to see this initial rejection. Oh, sorry, give me a minute. All right, sorry about that. So as I was saying earlier, we got to see this initial rejection from our initial supply zone here, all right, which gave us the sell. And I think currently what we can be watching out for might still be for price to break above here. Now, why am I saying that? We've seen a little bit of a minor break of a minor change of character rather from this point, all right, where we've got to see price break below above this previous high around here, all right. And I'm still watching out for the possibility of us to still get to see price move up a little bit more, at least up to around 102.160. All right. Now, again, any values I give you, I want you to go back to your own chart and confirm them. All right. Reason being that because of different brokers, these values might differ. All right. So what is like 102.160 on my chart might be 102.156 or 15 something on your own chart. All right. So depending on your broker, these values might differ just a little bit anyway. All right. But all that being said, I'm watching out for DXY to be bullish. All right. Because I want to see us to still get that possibility to of price rather to push a little bit higher. All right. During the course of the week. Now, what that means, all right, by inference, is that an invalidation for that to be for us to get a break above the supply zone. All right, this is my current supply zone I have marked out here. It's between 102.017 and 101.783. All right, so if I get to see that price an invalidation rather for what I was trying to say earlier is if I get to see maybe price rejects from around here. I'm very sorry, I was thinking about something else as I was saying invalidation. So if I get to see that price does something towards his hand, maybe like this, then definitely I'm not going to watch now for price to still go as far or anymore. All right, so this is actually something also feasible. All right, I'm seeing another point for a rejection, a possible rejection. All right, from somewhere around 101.561 on DXY. All right, so even though I'm bullish, right, I watch out for this in this second bias or this second possibility rather. But overall, I'm expecting prices to push towards the upside, and then we get to see price break this supply zone and then keep on moving towards the upside, at least up to this initial point that we said earlier, 102.160. So in summary, all right, just watching out for strength on DXY during the course of this week. Quickly, let's look at BXY, the Great British Pound Currency Index. And I think for me, I think last week I was expecting BXY to be bearish, and I'm still very much on that trend. All right, currently, so that being said, I'm just watching out for BXY to still drop a little bit. So it means I'm expecting the pounds to be weak. All right, in case you don't understand, I'm just expecting the pounds to be weak during the course of this week. All right, so I don't think we need to waste too much time on those ones. All right, same thing for AXY. I'm expecting AXY to be bearish. I was also bearish during the course of last week, and I think we got to see that happen fairly well. We're going to see a fair bit of what people would refer, or what some people refer to as a head and shoulder pattern being formed here. All right, so I think we can still watch out for price to continue bearish a little bit on AXY for the course of this coming week. All right, so I hope that is clear. Also on AXY, let's quickly jump into CXY, and exactly the same thing. All right, I'm still watching out for CXY to be bearish during the course of the week. Also, I have a demand zone marked out that I am still watching out for price to come to. All right, but now the reason why we actually look at indices is to just have a general idea of the strength of the individual currencies. All right, so for the dollar, the pounds, the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen. All right, those ones we just want to have an idea of how exactly they're going to play out. So even when we're analyzing our charts, all right, our commodities, maybe GBP, USD, EURUSD, we'll be able to see some level of correlation, possibly, all right, between what we analyze on the individual pairs and then on the currency pairs. All right, so last but not least on currency indices that we look at is GPY basket, and I think we might see some level of weakness on GPY basket in the course of this week. All right, so I have my supply zone marked out here between 7092 and 6965. Right, and I'm just watching out for the price to give us that weakness. All right, on GPY basket during the course of the week. All right, so I hope that is clear. I believe that we've touched up on all these ones now, and then now we can look at some currency pairs together. All right, so first off, everybody's favorite, everybody wants to trade gold. Everybody wants to just look for that trade on gold and put 200 lot size on it and just make their money and then be okay and all of that. All right, so this is gold. All right, on let me go to the daily time frame. All right, so by the way, if you were not able to join us for our Thursday live stream, you will have missed this beautiful trade we had on gold. All right, that spanned even till Friday after the NFP. All right, we got to catch this beautiful 1:3.98. So let's say about 1:4 trade off of gold. Very, very sweet guy. So I think we can just delete this. All right, so let's look at gold on the daily time frame, all right, so that will explain what exactly I'm seeing, all right. And this is something that I tried my best to explain. I think I did it during Thursday, and I did it the last market review session. What we are currently seeing on gold is consolidation. What does that mean? Currently, we've been seeing previously rather we've been seeing that gold has been bullish, all right. So we've been seeing gold moving towards this end, like this type of movement, all right. So we're seeing gold giving us that bullish move, so to speak, all right, on the daily time frame, right? And now we are seeing that currently gold is not even giving us any firm direction, either towards the upside or towards the downside. We're not saying that gold is currently bearish, all right, on the daily time frame, or I'm not saying that gold is even currently bullish. However, what we have is a previous resistance, all right, this is around 2483. All right, that was broken and now became a support, and price has not actually broken properly below that support yet. Now, as you would know, in a normal uptrend, all right, what you have is an impulse towards the upside, a retracement towards the downside, another impulse towards the upside, another retracement towards the downside, and so on and so forth, right? We have not seen any proper break, all right, above this previous high here on gold. Why? Now, one of the reasons that you might want to consider is that currently gold has even made its all-time high of recent, all right. I think that was about 2 or so weeks ago. We had gold making its current all-time high, and price has not really given us that reaction that, oh, right now I'm ready to now create a new all-time high or create a new high. Let me just keep flying and flying. We have not seen any of that happen. Please, who is that? Please do well to unmute, to keep your mics muted rather. All right. So let's continue. All right. So we've not actually seen gold break above this current support, this current supply zone rather yet. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. All right. I just gave that explanation so that you just have an understanding of what exactly we are currently looking at on gold. Now, if we look on the 4-hour time frame, you will see that a bit better. You see that we've not actually had a proper candle to break below that current support, and that current support is around, like I said before, 2483. All right, so what should we be expecting then on gold? Now, knowing that we are in a range, if you are trading gold as maybe a swing trader, you should be very careful. All right, what I'll be taking more on gold will be trades that I will not need to hold for maybe a week or two. Maybe a trade I'm taking on 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and maybe I'm holding it for a day, max a day. If at worst, I will, shall maybe 2 days. But even at that, you have to be very, very cautious of the type of trades you're taking right now on gold. All right, so all of that being said, all right, I hope I didn't scare anybody with what I just said. All of that being said, all right, what can we expect currently on gold? Let me do this also. All right, what can we expect currently on gold? Now, for me, I'm still watching out for gold to rise a little bit during the course of this week. All right, this candle was the candle that was created during the NFP release last week. And by the way, if you didn't join us for our NFP trade on Friday, rather, you missed. Sincerely, you missed. It's not good. I always send the links. All right, so please do also click on the link and join us for our live sessions. We're having new trading sessions. All right, so I think CPI should be coming. I don't know when, but definitely you see the link also for CPI. All right, so going back to what we're trying to say, we're expecting gold to be bullish. All right, at least to this point. Now, one thing I usually like working with rather is support and resistance. That's what I want you to know. In the market, there are two things that pushes the price. All right, you have support and resistance. Now, support and resistance is just usually referring to where liquidity is moving, how price is currently moving, how liquidity is currently moving price. So either we are saying that price currently being pushed towards the upside or towards the downside. All right, and that is one thing that works in the market 100% every single time. All right, so currently we have this previous support here. All right, this is around 2503 or so, and we have this previous support here also. This is around 2500.53. All right, so I'm watching out for the possibility of us getting price to push up. All right, take out liquidity from these 2 points and then come up into this zone. Now you might be asking, why exactly has this guy marked out this zone? Very good question. Now, one thing that we also like to work with are pivot regions. Now, my best explanation that I can give for a pivot region is, imagine you have a support and a supply zone and a demand zone. Now, imagine a supply zone married a demand zone and they give birth together, or they give birth to a child. What they will probably be giving birth to is a pivot region. So a pivot region then would be sort of a combination of a supply zone and a demand zone. Then you've seen that price has actually been pushed towards the upside and pushed towards the downside from that zone. So at a certain point in time, that supply zone, for example, was broken and became a demand zone. So instead of it acting as a sell, or it acted as a zone to give a buy, or that sort of thing. And from the line chart, you can clearly see that we have this guy marked out here, all right, as our current watch, let's call it a watch zone, yeah, our current pivot region, and this is on the 30-minute time frame. All right, so if we come back to it, let me just give us a coordinate before I even move on. Between 2509.48 and 2505.40 is the supply zone I'm currently watching out for sales of on gold. All right, so what I want to see right now is for price to push up a little bit, and then we get to see that sell on gold. All right, so I don't think I even need to take too much time on this, but more than I have already anyway. But I hope you understand the concept and what currently I'm watching out for on gold. Now, definitely, I will not be holding this trade for too long. I will not be holding this trade for too long. I've not seen any clear move overall, all right, from the higher time frames. So I'm just taking out this as a scalp trade, all right. That's why I had to come down to the 30 minutes. Normally, we'll stop on the daily 4 hours, maybe on the 2-hour time frame. But you see, I had to come down to the 30 minutes time frame to show us this, all right. So let's just watch out for how this plays during the course of the week. All right, so this being said, if you have any commodities you love for us to look at, you can just drop it in the chat box and we will look at them together. Any commodity whatsoever you love for us to look at together, just drop it in the chat box and let's look at it together. All right, so whilst I'm waiting for those to come, let's just look at some other guys together. Currently, I'm just going to be sharing some of the trades I'm watching out for during the course of this week. This one here is USD CAD. All right, I'm watching out for this guy. He's a very, very it used to be a favorite for me, all right, but for a while now I've not touched USD CAD. I'm not fighting with it though, but me and the guy we have been fighting. We have not been on good terms, so to speak. You understand? So that's just me being jovial anyway. So on USD CAD currently, I am watching out for this something similar. So I'm watching out for a buy to sell, all right, on USD CAD. Preferably my sell zone or my supply zone is around here. All right, it's around 1.36168 and 1.35994, 1.36168 and 1.35994. All right, that's what I'm watching out for, that sell to happen off of USD CAD. All right, so I'm just very, very watchful now. I'm very, very skeptical about this. All right, because if I get to see that this zone gets broken, then definitely USD CAD would be showing me this sort of minor break or change of character rather. So we might be seeing price taking out this high, making a new high, and then possibly we get to see price in the move towards the upside. But for now, I think I'll just be watching out for this to play out on USD CAD. All right, so let's not take so much time on that. Also, GBPUSD, we're expecting some sales off of GBPUSD last week. We got to see a little bit there. We got shanked a little bit, but I later got another entry, close to NFP period. All right. That being said, so this is GBPUSD right now on the 4-hour time frame. I think for this, I might have to go down to the 1 hour, right, to explain what I'm currently seeing off of GBPUSD. All right, very good. So currently what I'm watching out for GBPUSD is for price to continue bearish. All right, price to continue bearish, not so long, all right, but for price to still be bearish. All right, now I'm watching out for the reaction that will happen when price gets back into this region. All right, so this current region I'm watching out for between 1.31195. 1.31195 and 1.31133, 1.31195 and 1.31133. All right, so I'm watching out for the reaction that I'm going to get to see when price opens or market opens. I'll get to see price enter comfortably into that zone. I'm expecting a rejection towards the upside from there. All right, and then we get to see our sell. All right, and then we get to see ourselves. So I want to see price buy first on GBPUSD, or possibly come as far up as here, all right, which is our previous support around here. This is around 1.31476, and then we get to see a sell on GBPUSD. All right, so I hope that is clear. Like I said, I'm doing my best to not take too much time on some of the commodities, straight to the point, and then we can take our time to mark up our own charts also. All right, so This GBPJPY, again, if you have any commodities you want us to check out together, please do also drop them in the chat section and we'll look at it together. All right, so it's GBPJPY. I remember saying something, I think, in the last market review session, for those of us who were around. I said one thing, that usually when you see a commodity or when you see a currency pair consolidating, you should be very careful. What do I mean? Now, let me quickly just give us this short explanation again. All right, so there's a general concept, all right, in the market, all right, called AMD. I'm sure many of you have heard about it several times. You've probably watched 10,000 videos on AMD, but it is just basically means it stands for accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, right? All right, and what that means is that there are points in the market where you get to see that price is ranging. It does not know what it wants to do. All right, so price is currently in a box. It's very, very confused as to where to go, and then price gets to maybe break out of that range. Now, what happens usually is that a lot of traders, when they see that price has broken that range, they'll decide to now say, oh, price has broken towards the upside, for example. Let me enter for a buy. Since it now means that the buyers now have more strength, or the buyers are controlling the market now. So they will enter for a buy here, possibly put their stop loss maybe just a little bit below the previous or below the range. And they'll put maybe something like this, maybe a one issue, whatever, depending on their strategy. And they'll say, oh, that's what's going to happen. That's my buy. Now, price will initially move in their direction. And they will be like, oh, in fact, they'll have maybe open their MT5, they've seen profits, they're enjoying their life, they'll go and relax. And then before they know it, what would happen is that price will go in the opposite direction. What has happened? Simply AMD. Accumulation price has ranged a lot, accumulated definite and plenty orders, all right? Broken out. Now, that is the manipulation. So price will whine you. You know when they say markets go whine, but no panic. This one, markets go whine you, normal. So it's when I'm about to break above this range, or I've broken above this range. Now buyers can come in, and buyers will troop in, right? And then those buyers will now become liquidity for the market to go towards the downside, and that will be the distribution. So accumulation, they had accumulated all the orders that they needed, all the strength that they needed. Manipulation to wind more people to enter, then distribution go in the opposite direction. All right, so that is basically what we got to see on GBPJPY during the course of last week. And I think I remember saying this carefully, that is either we got to see price move up into this region, or we got to see price actually play out a simple AMD pattern, and we got to see that happen. We got to see this accumulation in this range, right? And we got to see price wind people and move up just a little bit, all right? And then we got to see price distribute towards the downside. Now, for me, anytime I want to take any, if I'm going to take a trade, all right, above a range, what I would advise is wait for a break and retest. Always wait for a break and retest. So for me, if I had seen that price came here, or I broke out of this place, maybe came back, and I got to see maybe a lower time frame confirmation, maybe I got to see rejection candle, or I got to see one pattern forming, or I got to see whatever it is, maybe I got to see a change of character on the lower time frame, I would have then said, oh, then there's a possibility for us to enter for a buy. Then I would have felt safer entering for the buy on GBPJPY. All right, but we got to see that price actually went towards the downside. Now, what then should we expect? With all this story I've said, I know that I might have bored you, but stay with me, all right? So with all this story I've said, what should we be expecting on GBPJPY during the course of this week? And that's what I have here, all right? A sell to buy. Why? All right, currently I'm watching out for prices to come towards this previous low here, all right? This is also a pivot region. All right, this is around 184.822. Yes, 184.822 rather. All right, so this is what I'll do. Let me check on the line chart, all right? Good, very good. So that will be able to give us a range instead. Very good. So I can use this as my range on GBPJPY. All right, so around 184.700 and 183.074, 184.700 and 183.047 is where I'm watching out for. That's demand zone on GBPJPY. Right, so a sell to buy on GBPJPY. I believe that is quite simple and quite straightforward, and we should not have any issues on there. All right, let me quickly check. All right, so I guess no one has any commodities for us to look at together. So I'll just share my own trade ideas, or my own, let's call them trade ideas. I'll just share my own trade ideas, and then in the next 10-20 minutes, we should be done for the day. All right, so let's go to GBPAUD. GBPAUD. All right, so this is what I'm watching out for on GBPAUD also. All right, so currently we're seeing that price has given us a sort of bullish movement into this region, or is looking like it's still going to get towards that region. And I want to be very cautious. Again, this zone, if you want to know how I marked it out, all right, just possibly go down to maybe 1 or 2 hour time frame, check your line chart. You should be able to find the pivot region using that. All right, and I have this zone marked out. I'm watching out for GBPAUD. Coin coordinates are between 1.98033 and 1.976008. Again, 1.98033 and 1.970608 rather. And I'm watching out for prices to still push up a little bit, and then we get to see that drop. All right. So on GBPAUD. However, I want to be cautious. I want to be careful. I want to be very cutesy. I want to be very, moderate. I want to be very demure, whatever you want to call it. I want to see if there will be a possibility for us to have this. Let me delete this. Or I want to be careful for this possibility also. All right, so something like this before we get to see the sell. All right, now reason why I'm saying this is because of this. Number one, we've seen that there is a previous. Let me bring this down a little bit. All right, there's a previous resistance here. This is around 1.90. Sorry, 1.96010, 1.96010. That was the previous resistance that we had. All right, and there's a very possibility for price to want to push down into that range or push down towards that point. Oh, let me increase this a little bit because I'm seeing all that thing. So let me redefine that for us. 1.96033. All right, so there's a possibility for us to see price want to push down first. All right, on GBPAUD before moving towards the upside. Now you might be asking why exactly am I thinking towards this end? Very, very simple. Price is always going to move towards where there's liquidity. Price is hungry or market is hungry, whatever you want to think about it as. All right, it is looking for something to eat. All right, and there is a large fair value gap that was left behind on this commodity, at least on the 4-hour time frame. You can still see a little bit on the 2-hour time frame. So what I'm watching out for is for price to still drop a little bit, come towards that end, and then we get to see our buy. All right, I hope that is clear on GBPAUD. Again, I can see that there is an institutional order flow around this region, showing us that there's every possibility for that region to actually still hold up as a demand zone. All right, so for me, I might just, if we just need a zone, anyway, if we just need a zone for the sake of drawing up zones, let's just use this area. So around 1.96051 and 1.95702. All right, so you can just watch out for buys off of GBPAUD when you get after I get to see that initial pullback from that area. All right, so I hope that is clear for GBPAUD. Next up, let's quickly look at AUDUSD. All right, and for AUDUSD, let me go up to the 4-hour time frame. All right, so for AUDUSD, I think we just have something similar to the reverse actually for what I just said for GA. All right, so I'm just watching out for price again to move up a little bit, clear liquidity from this fair value gap that was left behind, and then we get to see price sell. All right, so my sell, the place I'm watching out for sells, sorry, the point I'm watching out for sells off of AUDUSD rather is 0.67187, 0.67187. All right, so now you might be asking again, all right, how exactly am I, if I'm going to put that as my entry, how exactly am I going to be setting maybe my stop loss and whatever and all of those things? So this is what one thing I can advise you to do. All right, so again, you can just use you can just go down maybe to let me check the 2-hour time frame to see if we can use something a bit better. Let me just check, give me a minute, because I want to give us something as usable as possible. All right, so let me go back to the candlestick chart now. So if you're going to enter this, all right, now depending on your risk appetite, again, I will usually say this, depending on your risk appetite, for me, it might be a bit safer for you to leave your what they call it, your stop loss maybe a little bit above this region, but you can see that that's quite far off. So another point you might be watching out for your stop loss might be a little bit above here. All right, this is around 0.67431. All right, so this might be your entry. Your stop loss might be somewhere just a little bit above here, and then you can just watch out for price to continue to drop towards the downside. I am very sure that is clear on AUDUSD. All right, next up we'll look at EURUSD, and then we'll do maybe GBPNZD also. All right, so let's see EURUSD. So exactly what we just said for AUDUSD, or something similar to what we just said on AUDUSD. Again, I'm watching out for prices just shoot up a little bit. One thing that you might notice currently is I'm working a lot with support and resistance. So this current line that I've drawn here, all right, is actually a line that we've seen that has acted as resistance and support here again. All right, we've seen that price broke above it, became resistance here, became resistance a little bit around here, and price broke it. So we've seen that this region, all right, this region around here is actually a pivot also. All right, so currently I just want to watch out for price to push up a little bit, then we get to see a sell continuation off of EURUSD. My point of entry, all right, will be around 1.11002. 1.11002. That's what I'm watching out for, that entry of EURUSD. All right, I hope that is clear. Again, I don't want to take too much time, so we'll quickly look at GBPNZD. GBPNZD. Give me a minute, please. Yes, very good. So for GBPNZD, let me see if I can explain what I'm already saying simply. All right, so give me a minute. Very good. All right, so GBPNZD now, like I said earlier, price is just looking for liquidity to grab and move. All right, so even though right now I'm watching out for the possibility of GBPNZD, like from what you can see locally, we're seeing that GBPNZD is actually bearish. All right, so what I want to watch out for currently during the course of this week is for GBPNZD to still continue bearish. But from what I'm seeing, let me go down to the 2-hour time frame. From what I'm seeing, I'm expecting price to come, I'm expecting price to drop rather, into this zone initially. Let me delete this so I'll be able to draw it a bit better. All right, so I'm expecting reactions from these two zones. So something to this end is what I'm watching out for on GBPNZD. All right, so very, very simple. I'm just watching out for sells on GBPNZD during the course of this coming week. And let me give you the coordinates. This initial zone is between 2.12376 and 2.12246. 2.12376 and 2.12246. My second point of interest is around 2.11934 and 2.11829. Now, what I'm watching out for currently is for price to still drop, all right, but I don't see different reactions that might give me entry. So, as I say, price will drop into this zone, maybe we get a little bit of reaction toward the upside. Price breaks it, retests this zone, all right, this initial zone I called earlier, and then maybe if I get that retest and I get to see other confirmations on the lower time frames, I'll be able to enter for a sell from that zone, all right. But I'm watching out for GBPNZD to be bearish in the course of this coming week. And I'm very sure that's clear. I'm very, very sure that is clear. All right, so I have just 4 more commodities I really want to share with us from what I'm expecting to happen in the market. All right, and I'll just do that quickly, and then we can call it a session. All right, so let's quickly look at AUDNZD. I think for this, let's start on the daily time frame. Very good. So this AUDNZD on the daily time frame. Now, AUDNZD is a very, very funny guy. Sometimes you see a move, this initial move. Remember when this sell started, and I was just looking at it, and it was dragging until it just started doing beautifully. So this commodity has showed me shaky, so to speak. But thank God. Understand? So for AUDNZD, I think what you can watch out for should be buys during the course of this week. But I want to be very, very cautious. I have a demand zone anywhere around here. This is around, let me give us the coordinates for the demand zone quickly. Give me a minute, please. All right, so 1.07913 and 1.07461. 1.07913 and 1.07461 is my demand zone of AUDNZD. All right, so I'm watching out for price to still drop a little bit. We might get to see price go as far down as here, and then maybe push towards the upside, right? You understand? So I'm just watching out for buys off of AUDNZD. So my advice for you this week, if you're going to be trading this commodity, is for you, if you're able to see any of your own confirmations off of AUDNZD for buys, Nami Dokam, enter with your free chest. You understand? But of course, practice proper risk management. You understand? All right. So quickly, let's go to EG. Now, I think I was talking about EG last week, our last market review session. One of the few reasons why I hate EG, not hate, it is a strong word. One of the few reasons why I dislike EG, Eurgbp, is because it is an index and it is usually a bit slower than most commodities. All right. So now this is since August, all right, and this is since ending of August till right now. We've had such a little, that's not even something. That's a small movement. You understand? Off of Eurgbp. All right, and that's been. In fact, I'm waiting for price to jump into this zone since. You understand? So this is what I'm expecting on Eurgbp. All right, I'm watching out for price to still drop, come up rather into this zone. My current supply zone is around 0.84718 and 0.84517. That's what I'm watching out for sales on Eurgbp, and I'm still watching out for, I think it should happen this week. All right, I don't think that price should be slower any longer. All right, so we should get to see price push up into that zone, and then we'll get to see ourselves from there. All right, so I'm second to the last for tonight's session before we call it an eve. We'll be looking at AUDCAD, and then we'll look at EURNZD, and then we can call it the night. All right, so for AUDCAD, let me see on the 1 hour what exactly. All right, beautiful. So for AUDCAD, I have 2 points I'm watching out for. Again, like I said, I love working with supply and demand, or support and resistance. All right. Currently, I have 2 points I've marked out here. This initial one is around 0.90591. That's my initial point of entry, and then the second one is around 0.90662. 716. Now, what will I be watching out for before taking any of these trades? Very simple. I want to see a proper change, maybe a proper change of character on the lower time frame. All right. If I get to see maybe other candlestick patterns or chart patterns or whatever, or maybe I even get to see that price has maybe completed whatever, anything I get to see. All right. What I'm currently watching out for is for price to still push up a little bit on AUDCAD. Now I'm just even seeing something. All right. So will it still work? No, don't worry about that. So I saw something earlier and I wanted to quickly note it out, but all right, let me just check. Let me confirm. All right, let me not shrug it off. Give me a minute, please. Let me not shrug it off. I think my internet is waiting for me, and I'm waiting for it also. All right, thank God it has answered me now. Let's see. Oh, ye internet. Okay. So just bear with me. I know that what I'm doing right now is you might not really understand it, and I'm not explaining it yet. So just give me a minute. I'm going to do my best to properly explain what I'm currently seeing on AUDNZD, on AUDCAD rather. All right, very good. So this is it now. I'm watching out for price to still move up. All right, but currently I have a lot of zones to watch out for. All right, now for me, this current one I'm seeing now is something that might not play out soon. All right, it looks like something that might play out in a longer time frame, maybe not even this week, maybe next week. All right, but this is it. All right, I'm watching out for price, so of course give us reactions from here, but I want to also let me delete this right now. All right, so even though I'm watching out for a buy to sell, all right, I'm seeing this currently, and I want to be very, very watchful for how that plays out. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying that there is around here. All right, I hope you can hear me. I think my internet has been shaking for the last few seconds. All right, so I think I should be audible now. All right, so what I was saying earlier was that I'm seeing something that I want to just share with us quickly. There is this high around here. There is this low around here. All right, so let me mark that out here. So these 2 points I just currently marked out. Let me delete these two. I said that there won't be too many things on the chart. So I have this high here and this low here. That this high was taken out, all right, and this low was also taken out. Now, I think I've talked about this before, that when you usually see that type of pattern, all right, and now this is just an ICT concept, all right, what usually happens when you get to something like this happen is that price comes back to around this region of the shoulder, so to speak, let's call it the shoulder, and then you get to see price move towards the downside, all right, and I'm currently saying that there's a possibility for us to get that happen on AUDCAD, all right, so I think I'm watching out for this also on AUDCAD. You can see that we have this pivot region that is also coinciding with a trend line. All right, so we can see that trend line resistance possibly play out with that pivot region towards the downside. Notwithstanding, I think I will still be I'll still very much be cautious and watch out for these my initial points I marked out here. This is around 0.90592. That would be one, and then the second one around here, 0.90712. All right, so as I expect for AUDCAD, I'm watching out for a buy to sell movement on AUDCAD. All right, but I have different points I'm going to be watching out for that buy to end. All right, for me, preferably, I'm watching out for that buy to end around here. That looks like the safer option for me right now. This is between 0.90933 and 0.90890. All right, on AUDCAD, I am very sure that's clear. All right, so last but not least for tonight's session, drums, please. I'll tell our editors to be helping us to put drums anytime I say that now. All right, so for last but not least for tonight is going to be EURNZD. I think I'm going to be very, very watchful for this trade. This is possibly going to be a scalp. It's not even possible. It is going to be a scalp for me, and I'm going to be very, very cautious. All right. Again, this is something I'm looking at from, like, as you can see now, this is on the 30 minutes time frame. Currently, price looks to have broken below this previous low and also this previous point. All right, this is also a pivot region anyway. Currently, I have a supply zone around 1.79497 and 1.79458, 1.79497 and 1.79458. That's my pivot region rather. Currently just watching out for price to just push down a little bit more. All right, and then we'll get to see maybe a retest, and then I'm going to enter for a sell. And so this is more or less something I'm watching out to happen maybe between Monday and Tuesday, hopefully. And one other reason that I have to support this is that we have enough fair value gaps for price to be attracted to. All right. So for me on that trade, my TP1 could be around or then my TP2 will be around here. So my entry for this is going to be around let me quickly give us the coordinates for that so that I will not make a mistake. My entry is going to be around 1.79455, and again my entry criteria is going to be maybe 2 or 3 things. Number one, a breakout test. Number two, if I get to see a good rejection from that point, all right. And number three, if I get to see maybe a change of character on the lower time frame. Is that clear? All right. So if I get to see those three, and if I get to see more, I'm watching out for sales off of EURNZD. I'll enter for a sell. My stop loss will be just a little bit above, and that will be around 1.79566. My take profits 1. TP1 will be around 1.79004. My TP2 will be around 1.78722. Yeah. All right. So I'm very sure that's clear also on EURNZD. All right. So with these few words of mine, I believe I've taught a lot of commodities. I'm sure we've done more than 10. All right. We've taught a lot of commodities. So again, do your best before taking any of these trades. Be a responsive trader. All right. Be a reactive trader. So make sure that you're interpreting what exactly you're seeing on the candlestick chart or on whatever chart you're using. Make sure you're interpreting, not guessing. All right. As analysis, you interpret what currently you're seeing on the chart. All right. And then make sure that you do your own analysis. Work based off of your own entry criteria. Because I've said so and so does not mean so and so will happen. I am not the market. All right. What I do is just to analyze also. So do your best, do your own analysis. Try to see if there's a correlation. All right. And then if you see that correlation, by all means, that should give you enough boldness to enter for your trades. All right. Thank you very much for joining us for tonight's market review session. It has been a wonderful time with us together at EasyFX Academy. All right. Do also, we're going to post this video on our YouTube, but anyway, do also maybe if you have any questions or you have something that you need, you can just go back to the YouTube channel and then, you watch it. All right. All right. I'm very, very sure that you're going to have a profitable week. All right. And please, when you go to your YouTube, all right, if you also like the video, share the video. Like I usually say, there are a lot of us that we have guys, all right, that are traders. All right. They don't have people to give them this type of free information. All right. We're not telling you to even pay £1. It's for free. You just come, you will join, and you will learn 1 or 2, and you can be on your way. All right. Do also share this video to those friends. And I'm very sure we are going to have a profitable week. All right. So this is me signing out for tonight. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night's rest and a very profitable week ahead, guys. God bless and bye.